Welcome in everyone to the Challenge Aftershow. Tonight, Jenna, Pamela, and I are talking about the Challenge All-Stars Season 5 of Rivals, Episode 4, and it's called Ring Around the Rival.
Ring around the
Huh.
rival. Season 5 of All Stars, I think.
It's Season 5 of All-Stars.
All
Why?
Stars. Yes, I think you said season 5 of Rivals. So, but it doesn't matter.
Rivals, All-Stars, Rivals. All-Stars, Rivals. It's Pamela, it's because the Daily Challenge, I think, and they had to throw their partner back and forth and maybe like
Oh,
Ring Around the Rosie,
okay.
maybe.
No, I get it
But
now. I was like, great. I
I don't know.
couldn't,
Listen, episode titles are really hard.
right? Usually they make sort of sense, but I was like, ring around the raffles. Yeah, no, I get it
You know
now.
who didn't
Ring.
make
Get
you
it.
know who didn't make sense tonight, along with the title of the every episode, was Ashley's boyfriend. I had to like rewind it, listen to it a couple times. I don't know what he was saying, but he was hilarious. I don't know who this dude is, but apparently he has access to her credit card. Is the whole thing. I want to know more about this guy.
Why does he have access to, why does he have your credit card? Was my
Where, yeah,
only,
exactly. They're not even like married. Like, why a boyfriend has access to your credit card? Like, what's going on here?
even my husband, I wouldn't be like, don't use my credit card. Like,
Well, I guarantee you
I
this dude has spent her money in the past and she's not happy about it. Yeah.
was he not, was English a second language? Was he wasted or what? I couldn't figure out why I couldn't understand him. I was like,
I,
is he?
it maybe a little bit of both, Pamela, I'm thinking. So that might be the issue.
No, I just literally couldn't. It was like,
Where
oh,
is,
and I was
but
like,
in all honesty though, like, where is our spin-off episode of Ashley and boyfriend? Like, I'd watch a 30-minute weekly episode on that in a heartbeat.
no.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, no, that's true. We need an origin story there of that relationship. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
he definitely seemed like he had an accent. I don't know where he's from. But he maybe having a little bit of a language barrier is helpful in their relationship because he just took every hit from her. He
Yeah.
was punching bag tonight and he just took it and said, I love you. It's gonna be great. You're good. I'm here
Well,
for
I
you.
mean, Jenna, I mean, you want to be a punching bag for a millionaire and he has the credit card? I mean, maybe he's all about it. So,
I don't know the situation. That's why I would love an origin story.
Seemed like he understood a word of what she was saying either, though. It's like if someone said to me in like Kazakhstani, like, fuck you, bitch, don't spend. And I was like, I love you, baby. Like I learned the words, like, I get you presents. Like it's like I don't know if I don't know. That's why I'm all in on that story too. Like, who is he? Just what's going on here? I'd love to know more about that
Yeah, it
mhm.
too.
was
That
great.
was
Yeah, where was he? I think he was traveling, right? Or maybe I just made that up.
I don't know. No, I just he said they had to use subtitles for him because but it was hard. He was talking fast and all over the place. But it said like, finally, I get to see you. I think it's like the first thing he said. But
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't know if they were correcting his like what he was saying in the subtitles, but the subtitles made more sense. Obviously, I wasn't really sure what he was saying, but that's just a small thing tonight that we
Yeah.
were going to talk about.
Well, I love so she definitely unloads her frustration on him and then says, "Oh, thanks for calming me down." I'm like, "Did he?
Yeah.
Did that calm you
he
down?"
just sat there like
I'm like, "Wow, that's great." I
like
mean, the relationship works, and that's probably what she needs. She just needs someone to sit there and take it, whether it's about him or not. And it was just funny, her saying, "Thanks for calming me down." I'm like, I don't know if that worked.
we have to find out, and I'm sure people know, but we have to find out if it was just like really weirdly edited and just cut through. So it was like her venting
Yeah.
and we got the story, or is that really the gist of it, where like he just goes like, and she's like, and
Well,
he's
and
like, okay, baby, I love you.
one last thing on it from what I was seeing was I felt like he didn't even know how to FaceTime or whatever they were doing. His At some points he was like all I could see was his nose. Some points I was like, is he there in the distance? Like, what is he? I like, why can't you just sit still and just talk to her? He was like, I think he was doing ab crunches. I'm pretty sure he was working out. He was like up and down trying to like. It was really weird. The whole thing was great. I want more of this, but she's gone now. And you know what? I blame Anissa because apparently Anissa has all these friends in the house, but her friends always throw her in. Her superpower is I don't work out. I don't need to do anything. I don't need to prepare for the challenge because I'm friends with everyone. And as always, her friends turned on her. Last season it was Rachel. This season it's Fessy. Okay, all
I
right,
was gonna
Anissa.
say,
Oh, go ahead,
Sarah,
Pam.
well, just briefly, is there ever a season where Anissa doesn't feel betrayed by a friend? I feel like that is now her plot line.
Exactly.
It's not like
Exactly.
this season, last season, last All Stars. It was the girl we never heard of, like Jalissa, who was her best friend. Casey and Anissa have a close friendship. Like, I get that you're friendly with everyone and you hang out on the couch and you're friends with everyone, and fine, it would be my gameplay too. But to the point where every episode it's like Anissa's Groundhog's Day, like a friend, someone I trusted sent me in.
Yeah.
It's like, what? Come on. It's just at this point kind of funny.
Yeah, no, honestly, I was eating it up though, because I did remember her and Fessy working together and like resolving, making a friendship between the two of them. But then Fessy and the producers pulled out the receipts of Anissa saying
Hmm.
his name last season, or the last season they were on together, and basically using the excuse of, well, Fessy hasn't talked to me about games, so I'm just gonna throw him in. So it kind of feels like the same situation right back at her. So I was kind of like, oh, okay, Nisa, you kind of have to eat this one. Like it feels like it cancels out. It doesn't feel like some ultimate betrayal, like
And Anissa might be being, dare I say, a bit of a Josh, where it's like just because you're friendly with someone, maybe
right.
even friends, doesn't mean you're allies and like you're no you're safe with them. Like, again, when you've been doing it for 40 years, like it's like I'm hope that you have some relationships out of this. It doesn't mean that everybody is your game ally. And the like hurt of being voted in is just goofy at this point.
Yeah, but I mean, and I know we're gonna talk about everything, but Dan said you blame Anissa. I actually don't blame Anissa in this elimination at all. I think Ashley totally screwed up this elimination, and I feel bad for Anissa. I think Anissa brought her A game and she fought hard, and Ashley completely dropped the ball on this.
Yeah, I jokingly blame Anissa for getting them to the elimination.
Yeah.
Once the elimination happens, I'm sorry, but I grew up on a lake. If I want to see underwater, I'm pretty sure goggles are going to help me a lot better than just my naked eyes. And you can open your eyes up underwater, but it's not going to be as nice unless you have those goggles on. Ashley, don't know what the hell you were thinking. From the elimination start to end, it's obviously Ashley's fault from there, but I jokingly say that Anissa got them there in the first place.
I was falling for all of these like decoys though. When Ashley ripped off her goggles, I was like, "Oh shit, yeah, she's going Ashley mode. Like this is gonna work out." For some reason, when somebody does something so crazy, you're like, "Oh, they can only succeed at this."
Right.
I was so wrong. I thought she was in her mode where she was saying, "Fine, fuck it, I don't need this, and I'm gonna show everybody, and I'm gonna perform even better." And it couldn't have been more opposite.
Right.
It's like when I thought Devin once with the uncord thing, and I thought he had a great sophisticated strategy because it didn't make any sense. And it was like, no, nope, it's not that deep. He just was like doing the
Right.
wrong thing. I'm like, Devin knows what he's doing. If he thinks you should, instead of plugging things into the color that matches them, you should braid them and throw them over your shoulder, like maybe he's on to something.
Yeah.
But remember, it was like, no, just put it in where it belongs. Anyway, that was to a different thing. But
Yeah,
yeah.
I just thought Ashley might be crazy enough that she might pull this off without goggles.
Like
She
so
might
crazy, it might just work.
exactly. She'll tap into this part of herself where she shows up and she just goes, she's gonna go crazy in her own way and it's gonna work somehow. It would never work for anybody else, but it didn't work. So she was wrong and I was wrong for believing it.
And I do believe with this loss and elimination, Anissa is officially under 500 now. I believe she was like 13 and 13, 14 and 14, whatever she was. I believe she is now under 500 for
Mm.
eliminations. Miss Elimination Queen herself, Anissa.
Yeah.
And I say
Yeah,
that
yeah, I
sarcastically.
do. This wasn't necessarily her fault, but I don't know, had Ashley not boffed it up. It's Steve and Adam are good. I still don't understand. You guys are gonna have to explain to me why they decided to go in. Didn't Katie's teachings?
But
They were gonna go in regardless. It
thank
was
you, Jenna.
yeah.
That's exactly right. And when they showed a confessional of Nani, I don't know if this was done out of out of order or whatever, but Nani's there like, "Oh my God, Adam, what are you thinking? Why would you ever put yourself?" Nani, are you out of your damn mind? They were going in no matter what. Like, let them.
Still don't make it that easy for everyone. Like,
No,
great.
Pamela, it wouldn't. But I gotta be. I'm 100% on genocide. There's no way, no matter what they did, if they kept their mouths shut, quiet like a mouse, they're going in no matter what. So why not say something? And you know what? I like that Adam wanted to go against another star holder because guess what? We're 4 episodes through this season, the same star holders for the whole thing. You know, there's only probably 10 episodes. If it stays this way the whole time, and it never, and then the star holders never change. That's nuts. And like when you have like a Big T tonight saying that Corey's like, I want to go in, like let's go in and get our star. And Big T's like, no. I'm like, Big T, do you realize the point of the game? And there's only 6 more episodes, most likely. Like, what do we? I don't know what people are
So
thinking.
No, I
no
think it
shade,
may be.
Corey. Like, yeah,
I
then you volunteer yourself instead of Adam and Steve tonight. How about that?
Do it, but Corey Lay didn't. But whatever.
No,
Well,
of
I
course
think
he
it
didn't.
I think it is still a little bit too early for a team like Big T and Corey to volunteer themselves. They are
Jenna,
fine with who they are.
let me do the devil's advocate then of that because let's say they do go down there and they somehow pull off a victory. Who's really going to be worried about them going to a final once they have their star? They're going to be going after the other people that have it. Like you want to see Nani and Turbo in a final? You want to see Corey Lay and Big T? Give me the guy that's afraid to walk down a slight incline and can't go on a balance beam. Oh my God, and they made him do it again tonight. How hilarious that was so good.
True, but I raise you the point of they can still
Okay.
collect 3 more weekly paychecks. They can still be there for a few more weeks. Wait a few more until you
Well,
volunteer yourself.
you're damn right,
Like,
Jenna. That's why Big T doesn't want to go in because she knows she doesn't stand a chance in the final. She wants at least 3 more paychecks. I agree with you there for sure.
Well,
Yeah, and when it comes, go ahead.
I also I second Jenna's point, and I raise you a third or whatever, saying also, yeah, if I'm then Nani and Turbo and Big T and Corey have a star, I'm like, yeah, I'm challenging them like at towards the end. Definitely, I'm picking them to go against. Like, I don't think they'd ride to the final because people aren't scared of them in a final. I think they would have to defend their star.
Right,
Right?
you think
Does that make sense?
right, yeah. So if a team has power, they will try to throw in Corey and Big T in order to take their star in the
So it's
elimination.
like they would just get it to
True. The
lose.
earlier they get a star,
Yeah.
the more chance they have of getting picked by a team in power who still needs a star, thinking, "Oh, we can beat this team. They have a star. Let's throw them in."
Right, but
That's
you're
yeah,
both forgetting the major point of at least they would have a star to have to hold on to. They don't even have it yet. I
yeah.
the
True.
I'm just saying. I mean, anyways, I mean
Yeah.
it's a there's
And
points on both sides.
Yeah. Well, to
yeah.
this point, I don't know. I know Adam and Steve, they were going in regardless, but I still don't know if it was the smartest thing to necessarily announce that they were volunteering, because I think they just week after week they keep kind of like giving speeches and pleading cases that aren't sitting well with the rest of the house. But I don't know if it really even matters what they say at this point. Like
That's
the
what I'm
rest of
saying.
the house. Yeah, yeah, exactly. So I think it's a wash no matter what, like no matter what kind of speech they try to give, like or don't give, the house is going to say their name. So they're kind of just at a loss. So like yeah, I mean, I guess I could appreciate the effort. Like they want to have some power over this. They want to have some fun with it and say that they're not scared and say, "Hey, put us down against a powerful team with a star." But at the same time, you can see like the way the house reacted to that. I felt like they didn't really take well to that. So I don't know if it's helping or hurting them or if it even matters at this
Well,
point.
it
Everybody's against them anyway.
helping or hurting, it's making them the stars of this season, and they're booking more seasons after this for sure, no matter what happens after this. Because people can say, people might be saying, like, oh, well, they're beating all these trash teams in the elimination. Well, I don't care. That's who they have to go against. And like, isn't Anissa like this the best player ever? And Ashley won a season and took the money from Hunter. So like, I don't even want to hear that side of it. They're beating who's in front of them, and I'm sorry, but like the games that they're playing in these eliminations, they're all crapshoots because they have to be kind of equalized because it's a team thing and not guy versus guy or female versus female. So like that was a crapshoot tonight. Anybody could have won that. She keeps her goggles on. I still think Adam and Steve pull it out, but it wouldn't have been such a lopsided victory. But so yeah.
Yeah, Ashley really, it was hers to lose, and that falls on her for sure.
Mhm.
And Steve, something that's so good about them as well is that they came into this game with real beef, like real tension and issues with one another, and they're just locking it in and the bigger task at hand and getting it done and communicating really well and playing really well together and working well as a team.
Do like that the producers are rising to the challenge of making these not completely moronic, like when Cara and Rachel had to throw darts or whatever at balloons. That the challenge, I've been enjoying the jungle or whatever they call it, the finals or whatever they
I
are,
think it's the jungle. Yeah.
the eliminations, and they are equal, like they are anybody's game, but they have been kind of cool. I've liked them, like considering that they're not strength based or anything like that.
Yeah.
They've been pretty creative about making them cool and interesting. I liked tonight.
Yeah, I completely agree. Like they're really thinking outside of the box. Like you said,
Mhm.
I'm equal enough, not making it just like weightlifting or doing a Sudoku, it's not just like a pure strength based or endurance
Right.
based sort of thing where it would be clearly so lopsided for two teams to go against each other. Like Amber and Fessy are probably the team in the best shape on this show. Like if they were just gonna go in a straight endurance, elimination versus anybody, it would just be unfair. But yeah, they're making them really funky and funny and like interesting
Mhm.
to figure out how to strategize and like fun ways to beat the system in the game. Like Steve had the really good idea of spraying water, trying to make sure you get as much into their face as you can every now and then to
Yeah.
throw them off. And
Especially
so
if you take
just
the
coming up with
goggles
like,
off.
yeah, especially with their goggles off.
And then it was funny because Ashley or who said, I think it was Ashley said, "Oh, they're playing dirty." I'm like, "Wait, because they're just spraying you in the eyes? Like, what are we doing here? Like, that's totally not. That's like part of to me. That's like definitely a great strategy. That's not playing dirty. What about to lightly like make sure that no water ever drops on your face? No, that's ridiculous. So yeah. Anyways, I love that.
Also, you were spraying a little bit into your own tank by accident just because of the way that it was reflecting off of the star. The splashing off the star was still, influencing your own
Yeah.
tank. Yeah. So that was just like a thing that I don't know if they didn't think it through or just something that you had to then try to work around as a team. But just by default, being next to each other, it was like
Mm,
splashing into your own tank. So
yeah.
Yep.
Um,
Yeah.
All right. What did you think of the Katie stuff? She was trying to pull a CT thing. I did like the payoff at the end though. I didn't think we were gonna get this. And the only reason I kind of liked it was, you know, he kind of quoted Elf and he said smiling. Adam said smiling is my favorite. That made me chuckle. But then Katie was like, you have to mean mug after you win, mean mug. And then Adam tries to after they win and he can't do it. It's kind of over the top. I was laughing out loud for that. So again, it just brings me back to the point like Adam and Steve. Steve refuses to go to the 80s party. He's like, screw this. Like, I'm like, I know I'm going in every week. I got to get ready for this. All that stuff is just so good. I think he was sitting there just shirtless, just mad in his bed. It's
Yeah, he
kind
had
of fun.
like the
yeah,
electro
yeah, he was doing
things.
some sort of
Yeah.
treatment.
He's like
Yeah.
trying to prepare his old body for it. I mean, it just and like, then like the younger competitors, all they can do, they just keep making fun of Adam and Steve for being older. Like a Devin had a line tonight. I was like, guys, like they're kicking your ass all season. Like, what are we
Yeah.
like?
Yeah.
I
And
don't know.
Also,
also, we're all gonna get old in age, so you're the next one up anyway.
Exactly. So I just like
uh,
I think it's becoming a lame like thing for people to say like, oh, they're old. They need a walker. Ha ha ha.
Yeah,
Like,
it's all they
it's just
have. I mean,
lame. Like
it's funny enough. But I mean, also Devin and Leroy are doing a really kick-ass job too. So I guess,
yeah.
yeah.
no, I mean those are them, and I think Fessy and Amber B are the teams to really beat. I was surprised tonight, Nani and Turbo. We can get into the daily next for pushover. I thought they'd get more rings. I was kind of shocked. Turbo's a strong dude, and Nani seems like she's pretty light. I think that's built like that's why Fessy and Amber did so well. It's a guy that's strong that can push a lightweighted girl. I was shocked that they didn't get more
Long
rings.
too. Fessy and Amber are also long. Poor Katie and
Nani,
Brooke.
I feel like Nani's somewhat like her limbs are not like little short. It's not like she's what's her
Normal,
face from last season, the
normal
girl that liked
limbs.
feet. What was her name? Little short girl that liked feet. What was her name? Her and bananas.
Eve.
Aviv, thank you, Aviv. So it's not like she's Aviv. Aviv's really
I
she's a huge
don't
struggle in
think
this.
was it her that liked feet? She liked to get her feet rubbed because she had a foot injury. I think it
She
was
likes
Bananas
Yeah,
feet.
who
you
was
know
into
what?
feet.
There it
No,
is.
but on the Nani and Turbo point, we're not seeing a lot of them at all. I mean, granted, it's only episode 4, but there really are only a select few of teams that are making a splash, like entertainment wise and
Yeah.
competition wise. Like we're really not seeing much from a lot of people. And I'm surprised to not see more of Nani and Turbo. Like we're only seeing them at the daily challenges. And yeah, I would think that this would be one that they'd be really good at.
The other one I was hoping to see more of was the Dario Ashley situation because I was hoping, but
Yeah.
they gave us a little juice tonight. They said we both haven't discussed, our relationship and moving on from each other and all that stuff yet. So I'm hoping that's a kind of a preview for next week, whatever, that we might see them either rekindle something or hook up because we haven't really seen. Wow, they they gave us a little hookup tonight at the 80s party. Apparently, Anissa
Yeah.
and Sam.
Okay.
You know what? And you know what? They didn't actually show us too much. They showed us a brief clip, and I gotta give. I'm on the producer's side finally. They didn't show us them hooking up, and you know what? I'm okay with it. So the one time I'm okay with not seeing a hookup would be Anissa and Sam. You can skip over that. No thanks.
We don't
Okay.
really know if they hooked up or well,
I
I guess
I
they
thought I saw a little stradulation
well,
on the
Frank
bed there.
left. Oh, I couldn't see what was going on, but I think there was like I think Frank left the room because it was getting
Hot and
actiony because
heavy.
they I just
We
saw
couldn't
sorry
see
Frank
anything.
while he left. I just saw a Sam coming into the room or someone coming into the room, and then I thought you heard like, and
Well,
then
Sam alluded to wanting to spend more time with Anissa, and I
nobody
assume
was okay with that. I mean, I was not that we need to see the details, but I wanted more of that developing relationship too.
it,
Yeah, it was cute. I thought it was cute and fun. I liked that they had each other in the house. I thought it was, yeah, it was sweet. And I thought it was funny that Frank got up and like stormed off, and Anissa's like, "Sorry, Frank, like,
Yeah.
hee hee, whatever, get out of here."
That's the bummer of the going home team getting
Yeah.
attention on the episode is that you start to care a little bit about them. Like they always show a little bit more of the team that's then going to go into the final. So I wanted more of Anissa after tonight. I thought, so skipping around, but her and Ashley recapping last week's fight. I felt for Anissa. I thought she was super sincere and really as contrite as you can possibly be after a slip a boneheaded insult, whatever, wrong or right, just maybe agreeing she shouldn't have said it. I feel like she took all of Ashley's feelings to heart, and that's nice.
Yeah, that's right. We didn't go over their conversation. Did that happen before? Yeah, that
Happened
happened before
last
the
week, but
reality
then they
challenge. It
sort of
did,
it
yeah.
happened
It happened
briefly.
before the challenge.
It was a
Yeah,
really quick scene. It was a really quick
I
scene
thought it was
before the
really
deal.
good because it was very genuine again in terms of understanding where Ashley is coming from, similar to Sylvia. You know, you see Ashley lash out at people a lot and definitely like let her thoughts fly, her words fly, but just knowing like how she feels alone a lot. And I feel like sadly, again, they left tonight, but I actually feel like they were mending that wound to become really strong and really understand one another. And it was going to make it
Mhm.
a strong partnership in terms of communication and actually working hard for one another. But
Right. Maybe as a partnership in this season, but you heard Ashley as she was leaving. She's like, I don't want to be friends with Anissa. Like she straight up said it like on her way out. Because they don't really, I mean, they're gonna, if they have to work together, then obviously you have to make it work because you need to have communication, you need to work well together and all that good stuff. But it's not like they're gonna be friends outside the show now
That's
because of that
okay. I was gonna say I
conversation.
don't think Anissa, of all the people she considers a dear friend, I'm sure they could get along, but I don't think Anissa needs to be great friends with Ashley
we
either.
never will know what their
You'll
friendship
never
could
know.
have blossomed to had
Oh,
they stayed on this
oh, I'm
season.
sure they
Yeah.
would have been besties. All right. We should break down the daily a little bit. I swear they just tweaked the one that they did last season where the guys and girls had to like swing out themselves and grab those hooks. It was kind of I bet they used the same tractor trailers. They just switched up the maze or whatever you want to call it, the layout a little bit, but it's the
Yeah.
same. I'm pretty sure it's probably the same runway and everything there in Vietnam
Yeah.
that they used. They already have it probably ready to go, so why not save money? And I'm sure that's what they did. Overall, I thought the concept was okay. I mean, there were some funny parts. Sam spinning in circles, and Frank couldn't get her, and just unreal stuff. Some of these, and then I mean, the Veronica and Katie. I'm sorry, it's time for them to not. They don't need to. For as much as I really enjoyed my time meeting Veronica at AfterBuzz, and we had a great convo with her, and she's a great person. No need for her to be on this show anymore. It's over.
Come on, every time. I love Veronica and
Why?
Katie.
Why?
I love them. I just think they're great.
So
I think it's
bad.
funny. And did you guys catch Devin? Did you hear Devin? It was not on camera. Devin wasn't on camera, but when Katie and Veronica are starting, Devin goes, shock the world, ladies. Like, bring it home. Devin
Yeah.
said, like, come on, guys, win
Again,
this competition. It was very funny.
and again, I'm eating up these false hopes, these decoys, where I'm like, could you imagine? Like, come on, girls. Like, you are vets. Get it together. And like Devin said, shock the world. Like, I
Shock the
would have,
world.
I had that glimmer of, do you think that maybe this could happen? But then you remember they are both equally very, very
Tiny.
short, very
Yes.
short, tiny people. Like, they are not going to be able to succeed at this challenge. This is almost one where you feel bad, where you feel like there needs to actually be an equalizer here. Like,
Yeah.
not close enough for them. I mean, I
Well,
guess,
grab.
sorry.
Go. Sorry.
Oh, no. I mean, I guess it could have came from the push. Maybe there could have been more of an umph in the push, but their height, what they're working with is alone isn't going to be able to do it.
Not the same. It's not the same as if you've got that reach. Also, grabbing it's harder than last season. It was like kicking it down or kicking it. You exploded it or
Punch it,
whatever.
yeah, explode it. Yeah, make it explode. Yeah.
It's hard to grab something when you're moving, like
Well, they don't
especially.
have to grab it. All they do is they could hook their arm in there too. You
I mean,
hook
they
your
have
arm
to
in.
catch it as opposed to just knocking it with like last season. I felt like you had more of a shot. I don't know. Maybe it's the same, but getting it and just touching it or
Punching it. That's all they did last
Yeah.
time. Yeah.
I mean,
kicking.
I was surprised, like you said, Dan, with some of the people who had difficulties with this, like Nani and Turbo. And
Hmm.
Nani, Ashley, I love them using their feet. Nani was actually pretty good at
Yeah.
it. Ashley too, I was laughing thinking about like that seems to me like a uh harder to manage, grabbing with your feet versus your hand. But if it's, the closest you can get to it is with your feet,
Yeah.
yeah, that was pretty cool that they were able to do that with a few of those.
Yeah.
And we could break down a couple of. I mean, obviously, Devin and Leroy got 11, and they tied with Amber and Fessy, who also got 11. Those are the high scores. And then we talked about Katie and Veronica got 0. Sam and Frank got 4. I think Sam's still out there somewhere spinning like a top. I mean, it was so funny.
How
And
was she
then
singing? Like,
I
I don't
don't
know.
know how it kept happening, but it was so funny. She was out of control. He couldn't control her. It was so good. It was making me laugh so
Yeah.
hard. And then we have Corey Lay. We remember what happened to him with the last balance beam. And I know there's no way they're going to switch positions and obviously have Big T push him because he's a lot bigger, but he's not good on a balance beam. Then he tried to save up the rings, and then obviously the rule is only one ring at a time, so they got deducted a point or whatever. I don't know. That seems interesting to me. And then, like the Shane and Davon, like usually Davon is like a very featured member of the cast
Yeah.
because of all of her one-liners. We haven't seen snot from her all season either, really. They
Yeah.
tried to talk about her daughter tonight a little bit, but really, like we're not really getting a lot of them yet. And that's usually kind of a staple when she's on, is all of her funny one-liners. Remember when she was paired up with that kid we're not allowed to talk about because he's a dickwad? Bear? No, what was it?
Yeah.
Yeah, him.
I was gonna say Zach.
Oh, well, he's
Bear.
another version of that, but Bear, where she was like rolling in her eyes at him all the time with the nonsense he was spitting out.
Yes.
Yeah, that was funny. That was funny.
I have to bring this up because I sent it to you guys. And this is, I don't know what the truth of is this. I don't know if you guys saw it yet because you're like, have busy lives and stuff.
Oh,
But
was it text or DM or?
I sent it from Instagram. So Jenna, who is pregnant with Zach's fourth child, Jenna Campo.
Yes, yeah.
And
They just
Zach,
got pregnant. Yeah.
Zackington, or whatever his name is. They have unfollowed each other on Instagram, and she like
Wait,
got
who
a
did?
job.
Who did?
Zach and Jenna.
The
Apparently,
married couple, Zach and Jenna,
the
have
married
unfollowed each
couple,
other?
married, 3 children, and one on the way.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's probably just like a fluke, right?
Well, she's also posting like keys of a narcissist. Like, no, there's some watch. Jemmy did a thing about it, and I was like, I hate to love it, but I totally love it.
God, Jemmy is like, but to me on the other side of it, like Jemmy is doing anything in her ability to try to stay relevant, and nobody cares. Because I'm wondering, like, you're telling me they haven't asked Jemmy to come back they must have not asked her to come back for any of these All-Star seasons,
I don't know.
or
I don't know. Again, I'm not. I'm this is one time I'm gonna get behind. I'm like, I don't know, I don't care. I think it's I'm sure Zach cheated on Jen. Like, I don't think she cheated
What?
on him probably right now, but someone probably did something shitty to someone else. And
Yeah.
apparently she's like, I have to dig a lot deeper, but I was like, we have to bring that up
Go to Jenna Cupiano's Yelp I was a Yelp page. Oh my goodness. Instagram page
on.
and see if Zach if she really did unfollow because all we're taking is Jemmy's word for it right now. Jenna's already on the case.
I
Yeah.
am because I feel really bad if that's a
I
situation.
feel bad. I feel terrible, but I feel like
I don't
like
I don't see Jenna following him, but that's still I mean I don't know. Did he delete what's his thing? Zach
I mean Zach Nichols, isn't his last name Nichols?
Chin.
Zach Nichols. Let's see. He has some stories. He had Fessy on his podcast. Let's see who
Yeah.
he's following. I don't know. Maybe it's just like a fluky thing. We obviously have no idea what's
Like
going
also
on.
his co-host on Jemmy did a thing on it. There's more details, and it's like she's
Well,
been posting.
Jemmy's thing is now deleted, actually.
Yes,
Whoa.
because what you sent to us, Pamela, it deleted itself inside the DM because I looked at it and it said I tried here, I'll read it to you. I tried to look at what you sent us, but it was already had been deleted. So it was really interesting.
Oh man.
I know this is
Well,
interesting though. Hold on, I'll show it to you. When you sent
All
it,
right.
it now
Since we're
says message unavailable. This content may have been deleted by its owner or hidden by their privacy settings. So Jemmy, who just wants to get her 2 seconds of fame, already deleted the damn thing because maybe she realized she was full of you know what. Not that I'm trying to stick up for Jenna and Zach, but I never want someone to have to. I don't want anyone to ever cheat on anybody. That's awful.
yeah,
Plus,
I mean,
they got 3 to 4 kids involved here. They got 3.5 kids involved. It's ridiculous.
no, it's really sad when there's a
but
family
let's end this
involved.
by saying I'd rather those 4 kids grow up with 2 loving parents that aren't in a dysfunctional relationship than I don't know. The point is like, oh yeah, then great. Watch Zach abuse Jenna in front of his 4 children for a million years. Like, is that better? I don't
We don't
know.
know. We don't know what's going on.
No, we don't know, but we have seen him for several years, and he does. He's an asshole. I'm not saying that is what it is. It doesn't. Anyway, I always enjoy a good Zach comeuppance. That's all I'm saying. So
Um,
that's the only time I can get on the same page. Not only time, but with Jemmy here is saying, hopefully she's leaving him for some great guy. I mean, like her either. So
My
who knows?
God. Well,
Forget it.
it'll
Anyway,
have
I
to be
just
a
thought it
guy
was
that
good.
really likes kids and apparently pregnant women as well, because she's currently pregnant. All right. So, what is any other final thoughts on pushover, the daily challenge?
Do I have
Any other notes of any other notes that you want to spout
Mm,
out? No,
I
nothing.
was surprised that Adam and Steve didn't do that well either. I mean, they ended up getting 6 rings, I believe, which seems like
Mm.
a pretty common number that, like a median number between the teams. So they ended up rounding it out, but yeah, they didn't have a great performance either. Like they could not get it together. And at first it was really hard to watch because the only way these guys are gonna be safe, in any way is to get power and to win a daily challenge.
Did
So
anybody else
I
notice the
thought maybe
music?
this was going to be the one.
Did anyone else notice
Um,
the musical artist that was featured during the montage?
Dun, 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 dun.
Vanessa Carlton, classic. Classic. It was a banger before a banger was a thing, and that song played so much in the early 2000s. It was unreal on MTV. So, yeah, that was playing during the montage. So I like that. That was
Yeah. Their music clearance budget for this version of the show in All
is
Stars,
always great. Yeah.
it must be high because yeah, or they got good connects with, some of these like labels or something
I think
because
they
they
always try to, but it's the classic All Stars. So they always try to show like older songs from like the early
yeah, it's
2000s and
great.
stuff. So it's always
Yeah.
fun. Okay, let's move on here. We got the 80s party, we got the hookup, we got Frank talking to his husband. That's the next chunk. And then we get into nominations. Um, Again, I'm excited for. I really hope Frank does something because he's saying how he's going to do all these diabolical plans. I'm ready for Frank to do it. It's just we're still waiting on that, but that's fine. I'm hoping that it does happen.
Trying. He's trying. It sounds like he's gonna switch fields now. Is that in the coming up? It might have been in the coming up, or was it
It
on
was
this?
right at the end. It's him and Sam. Sam has like a notebook of information or something. I don't really get it, but I like that Frank is basically saying, look, she physically can't do a lot of stuff. There's no reason to get mad at her at this point. It's not going to help things. Let me just pretend that I'm a weak player and politically that's all I can do. I can't perform well because she's literally going to hold him back. And he's not wrong with saying this. If he wants to run 5 miles, she's not going to keep up with him. And if he has to wait for her, he just has to go at her pace. So instead of playing the game the way he wants to, which is a very physical, endurance-based game, he has to go politically with her and kind of try to manipulate things. And I kind of think it's going to be fun for him to try to do that. It's going to be great if it works out. I mean, I don't know. Yeah. Pam, you're not
I
on board.
mean, sure. It's no, I'm on board for Frank and his plans, and I like it and I like them, and I like it, but I don't know how much you can do with the information that's available. That's what I'm saying. It's like
Well,
I don't know that there's a way to like mastermind this.
he
I
hasn't done
just
anything yet, Pam. So you're correct so far. I'm hoping he can pull something off, though. Yeah.
it's like, well, now we know that Adam and Steve keep winning the eliminations. So it's like, yes. Like it's not, I don't know. It's not like there's hidden
Yeah.
codes going
Well, it
on. That's
sounded
what I'm
like
saying.
his strategy is now to be on the side of the house that is weaker competitively and athletically, but has a lot of numbers and friends, or it's people that he normally is not friends with, like he was saying Veronica and Katie have ties to people and they're vets and
Mm,
they're close with other people that he normally isn't. So it sounded like his strategy is now to jump over to the side where he feels like there may be, more numbers.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I mean, I want to see how this shakes out. Like, I want to see if all of his efforts do anything.
Mhm.
yeah.
But the
Right.
thing is with Frank,
Unfortunately, they're so bad. It's not even like and it's not his fault, but it's not even like Kellyanne and Sylvia or even Anissa and Ashley, where you're like a mid. They're like losing everything. So it's, I mean, they might get kept around for a while, but it's hard. They don't
well,
really
listen,
bring a
they're
lot.
not the worst though. Like Veronica and Katie got 0 and Sam and Frank got 4. So they're still not the worst.
I know, but the worst is so far. Like Katie and Veronica are so far down that if the next one is Sam and Frank, like they're right there. But they're just far. It feels like they're far away from them, but they're still like basically the second worst team, unfortunately, because of Sam. And I do think Frank is pretty darn good too. So it's like it's taking a lot. Sam has to be. Unfortunately, Sam is really bad. She just is. She's. It's not like she like excels at puzzles or something. We don't know yet, really. But like, I just
She
really. It's really bad. Anyway,
she's
well,
bad. No, I think we can confidently say she is not, she's not good at this. Like, it's not, we're not like, is she gonna, yeah, she's not great.
no, she's
But it
not
is
great.
funny just having like Fessy and Amber and like Katie and Veronica competing against each other. It's just, those are like the opposite ends of the
Well, I
spectrum.
wanted to talk about the Fessy and Amber situation next because obviously they win the daily challenge, so now they get to pick a team to go against Adam and Steve. And Adam and Steve come to them and they kind of try to give them a deal. And well,
Yeah, I didn't,
Pam, hold on, Pam. I think you can go either way with this, but I actually love the idea of Adam and Steve saying, "Give us Leroy and Devin." However, I understand why Fessy and Amber didn't want to do that because they're obviously a very strong team. If they send home a stronger team or a strong team, then they could be up next for people to be gunning for them. So I get why they didn't do it. But if Adam and Steve pulled off a victory against Leroy and Devin, they're just going to be handed a star. Because I think Adam and Steve would have held up that side. I don't think they would have been like, nah, and they give it to like Veronica and Katie, even though that would be a badass move because they would have been awful in elimination or in a final. But I think that they would have held up their side of the bargain. So I just wanted to get your ladies' opinion on that conversation and if you think Fessy and Amber made the right decision not to work with them, because in theory they decided obviously not to by putting in Anissa and Ashley, right?
Yeah, I mean, I was trying to connect the dots as that was unfolding in real time because we didn't get to see how everything transpired after that conversation. For shock
Right.
value, we show up to the elimination and Fessy and Amber get to announce who they picked. We see Amber, at least, I don't know, it seems genuine, that she is considering it. It does seem like she might be, the one person in the partnership with her and Fessy who's like, okay, like I see Adam and Steve's point. Like, I'm kind of ready to go big. Like, sure, like I'll think about it. But I do understand Fessy's position. He has teamed with them right now. Why ruin that
Yeah.
allyship? And also they're roommates, so that would create a stir. That would just create so much unwanted tension in the house. And why do the two best teams need to be beefing yet? Like they'll get there. Um, but I was trying to piece together why Anissa and Ashley. Like, when they announced, okay, tonight we're gonna throw in, and I didn't really know who to expect. But when they said that, I was like, oh, okay. Like that felt random. But then, once Fessy brings out, well, Anissa said my name last time we were in a show together, I was like, okay, that's all you need. Like he has his excuse, you know what I mean? Like he has his thing that he can fall back on. Because yeah, I mean now
But I
on the
mean,
show.
same with last week for me, Jenna. Like the Kellyanne and Sylvia situation when they got put down there, and then they made up like this whole thing that Frank convinced them, and then obviously I heard in our comment section someone said that like Devin's like went on a podcast and no, Frank, whatever Frank tried to say, he swayed us. It really didn't make a difference on why we chose them. But like, why did they choose Kellyanne and Sylvia? Like, why was that someone they
I
wanted to
think they're
pick to go?
just trying to not get blood on their hands. And like I said,
Yeah, and that's what I think. Same with, can't you say the same thing with the Anissa and Ashley thing too? Because it felt like kind of out of place. Like, well, why Anissa and Ashley over maybe someone a little bit stronger that they could have also taken out because obviously Adam and Steve work so well together. I mean,
yeah,
they've
that's
won
what I
what
mean.
is it three eliminations in a row now? Because they episode one they didn't go in because they won and they got a star. So two, three, four, three eliminations in a row they won. No one else has been in an elimination and won besides them this season.
Yeah.
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 I think Adam and Steve are so good at working together and they're good at everything, and that's great. Where they are really, really bad, I'll say, where they're not good is not social and not political, but some sort of combination of political and social. To me, it felt like a big off to not realize it's like a lack of awareness almost. It's like, I guess you could say bad social game, but it's not like you have to be friends with everybody, that kind of social
No, I
game. But
think this
going to
is
Amber and Fessy and asking them to throw in their roommates and obviously allies at this point without enough of a strong. Fessy was making sense to me when he was saying like, "Yeah, we're not going to do it," but like, sure, down the line. I think I agree with Jenna. At this point, that's just stupid because you're blowing up a good alliance with the team that's also winning after you. So if you can trade off winning until you have to stab each other. Unfortunately, Adam and Steve need to step up the winning the dailies. And they need Katie's lessons. That's why I liked it, because it's like, no, it's a little early to pull that one.
But
Like
here's my
I
thing too,
appreciate.
Pam. Like, why couldn't Adam and Steve say, just give us any star holder? Do you have any ties to Dario and Ashley? Do you have ties to Nani and Turbo? Give us any of the star holders, because guess what? If we beat them, will give you a star. But they really made it all about the Devin and Leroy thing. And if Adam really wanted to mix up the house with the stars, like just tell him. And he did. He kind of mentioned, like, I don't care. Just give me a star holder. I want to mix up these stars. And I don't blame him. For us as an audience, don't we want to see different people have the stars? So I wish that maybe they did. They just didn't show it to us. I wish they showed Adam pushing the envelope and saying, "Look, if you don't want to do Devin and Leroy because they're your roommates and you're working with them, give us any star holder because guess what? You're going to reap the benefits of that. We're promising you the star, and then we can mix up the house, and that'd be fun too." I don't know. So
Yeah,
that's
I
what I'm.
agree. They were that I had that thought as I was watching as well. I was like, why are they harping just on Devin and Leroy specifically so hard? Like there's multiple star holders. I don't know why they're exactly what you said, just not vaguely saying, give us any star holder of your
Mhm.
choosing. But I wonder if they were doing that because they wanted to make the offer more enticing to Amber and Fessy by saying, hey, shit, we'll go against probably the best star holders. Like we're not scared. See what we're willing to do for you. Like we might take out your biggest competition and you'll get the star in return. So I think that's probably why they were trying to offer that, but they didn't realize, I guess, how Fessy and Amber are working with Devin and Leroy,
Yeah.
or didn't think about like the friendship that they have, that they're so civil right now and cordial. So yeah, I mean, poor Adam and Steve, like they're trying. They're really trying all the different ways that they can go politically.
Yeah. And
But
here's the
it's
thing about Adam and Steve.
always gonna have to fall on the sword this season. Like no one's
Well,
taking
here's the thing, Jenny. You're exactly right. They came into the season like they're not great politically, right? And then they got that classic, first episode where everyone just guns for them because they don't have a lot of ties. They're obviously a lot older than they have like Veronica and Katie, but that's about it. So the majority of the house can just vote them in. However, usually the team that gets kind of like sabotaged at the beginning doesn't make it this long. They lose after one or two eliminations because it's really hard to win an elimination every back to back, especially a three-peat, which is technically what they've done so far. So they don't usually run into this situation. But now that they're in the situation, they keep winning. They're gonna be the lamb, the sacrificial lamb, no matter what they say. And imagine if they pull it off, because remember that season that I think it was like either, I remember Cara Maria did 3 eliminations in a row and everyone couldn't, it's the most amazing thing ever. And same with Hunter that time. Hunter went into like 3 in a row and we couldn't believe he kept coming back. Well, they've already done it. And I feel like nobody's giving them the props they deserve. 3 in a row for eliminations is absolute
No, it's
insanity.
I'm
Yeah.
starting to get scared. They better win next week
Me
because
too, Pam.
eventually it's just
I'm sorry, but they're the star.
unfortunately
They're the
it'll
stars of this season, and to have them go home,
yeah.
I'm sure the season will still be good because it's been amazing so far. But that's a huge loss. They need a win next week so they can stick around for at least. Because then whatever's going to happen, someone else has to get voted in, and then there's going to be blood on people's hands, and it could get mixed up, and maybe they'll be able to be safe the week after if they don't win. Who knows? But I just need
Yeah.
1 week of safety for these guys because it'd be
Yeah, I
really
think
cool.
Dario and Ashley would have been a really good choice for Fessy and Amber,
Heck
actually,
yeah.
because they're a like they're a very fit male female team like that. I'd be like, yes, let's knock them out then. Great. That makes sense to
I
me
think that
as
would have been the
well.
best choice for
Versus,
them. Yeah. Because you don't
yeah,
know
because
what the
then either
elimination is.
way,
I guess they would have seen the elimination when they came in. They could have actually changed who they wanted to. But I think, yeah,
yeah,
that'd been a
I
fine
forgot
pick
about them. I didn't realize that they had a star. Like, why do they keep flying under the radar? They're not so socially connected. And
because
they're
Adam and Steve are like still in the game. That's why.
no,
Yeah.
to go
You know,
against them. I would have picked. I'm surprised. I feel like Amber is letting, I guess, Fessy, at least from what we see, call the shots because she did seem into putting in a star holder. And whereas I do understand why Devin and Leroy are not the right move at this time.
this can't last forever because I mean, even though like the big T's of the world, like they never want to go in, they just want to get their weekly paycheck and then go home. But apparently before the final, like other people are gonna want their star. Like there's no way that people like Davon and Shane, they're a team. They're gonna be like, oh no, we'll just take our. They're gonna eventually want to go in. So Adam and Steve can't be in there every week. But I mean, I guess they could because they could go at I don't know. It's
Five
crazy.
stars,
Hmm?
5 stars.
Four.
5 teams have stars.
Four.
4. So Nani and wait, I completely forgot
Nani
Dario
Turbo, Ashley Dario, Adam Steve, and
Amber.
Leroy and Devin.
Wait, so
Leroy
Leroy
Devin.
Oh,
and
yeah,
Fessy
Leroy and Devin.
don't have a star?
Yeah.
Oh, that's what I keep
And
forgetting.
they've
I keep
won,
thinking that
Pamela, they've won daily challenges twice
right,
and had an
right.
opportunity to go down there and get their star twice now. And they've
They
decided
get to
not to.
pick who they're going against, right? So whoever they pick is who they'd go against.
Yeah. Oh no.
No,
No.
I don't know
Sorry.
how that would. No, they would just, instead of voting someone down, they would go down. They'd have to be against Adam and Steve. They'd
It's
have
the
to.
house vote.
Picks
The house
the
picks the
house vote,
So
and they
it's
say,
it's
yes, we'll go
interesting
along
if
with it.
I'm Fessy and Amber, maybe I go around to the house. If I win a daily challenge, why not try to sway that house vote to get someone crappy in there and then
Right,
put yourself down there too? Because Adam and
Yeah,
Steve don't have to go in every
I
week.
don't think Fessy
exactly.
wants to create any waves. He just wants to, not ruffle any feathers, just coast a little bit for now. I mean, he's performing there. Him and Amber are performing so well in these challenges. Like,
Yep.
so I just don't think they want to make any moves with their power right now.
Yeah.
They're kind of
Yep.
feeling out like the vibe of the house. I feel like they're probably consulting Devin a lot because they're roommates and they're working together. So he's probably, I don't know. I mean, that's an assumption, but I feel like he's probably trying to like see what Devin and Leroy think too. And
Uh,
I mean, those are
yeah, I mean,
again, those are the three strongest teams. Devin and Leroy, Amber Fessy, and then the two guys, Adam and Steve. I think those are the three tops. I do still think Turbo and Nani are a strong team. They just haven't shown it yet. I mean, you could put those four in the final, and I think that'd be a really entertaining final. I really do. So, um, I'm excited for this whole season's great. Any final thoughts? I know that apparently Jenna has this amazing mailbag she wants to share with everybody. So, you said you wanted to, so let's do this
most
thing.
amazing.
I
uh
added the word amazing, Pamela. I don't really
guys,
know. Yeah.
for people watching, This is how the media twists things, okay? Don't believe every headline you read,
Okay.
uh, every interview bite that is taken out of context.
How do you feel about it then? Because you brought it up in our pre-show.
So, what I said
Oh,
was,
right.
oh, do we need a mailbag?
No.
Checking, like, oh, I didn't do my homework. Oops, I go find one. And then I said, well, wait, never mind. I actually do have like a
Right.
general
Oh,
collective
it's
bag
amazing.
from the commenters. So I could actually talk about that. I'm good. So it wasn't like, guys, please let me have this floor for a little bit so I can talk about this. Basically, we had a lot of people comment saying that it is the real Adam from the show. That
Oh.
is that is commenting on our page. I can't believe it. How did you find us?
Um,
Yeah.
yeah, and share it, Adam Larson. Come on, use that platform. Share this with
Pamela, you know how
others.
he, Pamela and Jenna, you know how he found us? He typed into the search on YouTube,
Challenge.
best challenge after show, and a bunch popped up, and he by accident went to page number 2 where we're located, and that's how he found us.
Right, exactly. He's on page 49 and it's like, oh,
And we
what's
Yeah,
were there.
the video on what are these kids doing?
organic.
You probably used his photo in a thumbnail image and he was like, oh well, I'm
You
in
know
this one.
Yeah.
what? Why don't I do that? I don't think I have used his. I will use his thumbnail tonight.
I
That'll be
thought you
fun.
Steam
did.
mug.
Oh, did I already use his thumbnail? Check
I
for me.
thought you might have used him and
I can
Steve
I can
already,
check. Oh, did
but
I already use him and Steve?
don't
I'm trying
quote
to
me
keep
on it.
it.
Double check. But I
I'm
think you
trying to
might.
keep it rivals thumbnails, obviously, because that would make the most sense, right?
But I also love somebody commented like, "Oh, it's so funny that Pam and Jenna think somebody is pretending to be Adam."
Right,
Comment.
right. Well, that's what I said. Out of all the
Oh,
challengers, you could be Wes, you could be Bananas, but you're going with Adam. Just it's very random. It's a very random
pretending.
challenger to want to
Never
be.
thought anybody actually on the show would be watching our show,
Oh
but
my
it's
God.
funny when people are like they think someone's impersonating him. And it's like, yeah, why not? People have like fake
Yeah.
profiles and fan pages
Well,
for people at all different like people have fake profiles for like influencers, you know? So
Right.
I wouldn't put it past anybody on the internet to pretend to be somebody on the show.
yeah. And I mean, I think a lot of people wouldn't
Yes.
mind being Adam right now. He's kicking ass on the challenge. He's kicking ass in the dating life. He's with Avery, after all. I mean, go Adam. He's having a
Yeah.
great
No, Adam's
2024,
having living
2025.
his best life right now.
Yeah.
24.
Well, I meant because they met in 2024, I'm assuming, and he's carrying that over to 2025. Him and Avery, I believe they are.
I just
They've
thought you
been dating
forgot
for
what
more.
month we were in.
Okay. New. It's
Because
newly 2025.
Right. So
yeah,
I assume they met before that. Yes. Obviously.
yep, sure did.
Okay. I think that's a great episode. I just
Uh,
again, I'm loving the season so far. I think everything's going really well. If Adam and Steve
um,
go home, it might change my feeling on it, but we'll have to see because they're
my
just.
honorable mention is to
Hmm,
Melissa and Nicole for
hmm,
both of them again being so hard to understand.
yes.
Each of them
Melissa Nicole and
individually.
Ashley's boyfriend on a spin-off. It'd be like just the wackiest.
Well, put the 4 of them in a house together. That'd be great too.
Hmm.
Yeah.
But
I had
also
peanut butter, babe, credit card,
Nicole
blah, blah, blah. Yeah.
Nicole, for being so athletic and being a firefighter, she really did a bad job in the challenge too. I feel like she didn't know how to throw Melissa to the rings, and Melissa also got like all tied up and was spinning for a while. And I was like, what is
Hmm.
Nicole doing? She was getting so hyper. Like her high energy just like is so unproductive in those moments. She was just like on a hamster wheel, like not doing anything productive, just moving around a lot.
Okay, so you know CT has his tips and tricks for the challenge. Dan's tips and tricks for this challenge, this daily challenge would be you don't just push them out there, you swing them back like a rope swing, and then let the momentum take them out the rest of the way. So,
Yeah.
because I was, I'm really into physics, I really smart in high school. Not really, but yeah. So I think that would have helped instead of just
Yeah.
you have a still a body at rest and then you just try to
Mhm.
push them out there. No, give it a little. You're on a rope for a reason. So, anyways, yeah, swing them out.
Yeah.
All right, good talk, everybody.
Yeah.
All right, well, episode 5 next week. Can't wait. I look forward to watching the show. I'll say it again and again and again. 1 hour episode. They keep it moving. It's perfect. It's
It's
great.
good. Really nice.
Really nice. Okay, we'll see y'all next week. Bye
Right.
bye.
Bye.